Whoa, what's this? It's my voice. I'm just trying out a new thing where I talk into a mic. Because before, on the host, the guest and the wardrobe, I used to sing into it. It wasn't actually my talking voice. So this week's a bit different. So how about last week? Wasn't that fun? We had Mark Smith, chatted shit about shit, really. That was fun. If you haven't listened to it, what are you doing listening to this one? You don't understand. It's maybe you haven't got the narrative. Doesn't matter. You can watch it in any order or listen to it. But you could watch it like the sound waves and just see how they flow. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, more importantly, this week is what an episode this is gonna be, because we've only got Sean Beasley. Are you there?
I am. I'm here.
Oh.
Within 5 seconds of you starting recording, I knocked the goddamn mic.
I know, I heard it, so I'm going to have to edit that out. But it's alright. That's what it's there for.
Good.
Knocking.
There's not a whole lot of room in here. I don't know what I was expecting.
No, I mean, what were you expecting? Well, you don't know.
There you go. I don't. It's just I'm completely new to all of this. What I should have mentioned before I began this is I'm actually kind of claustrophobic.
Oh God!
So we'll see how long I last in the wardrobe. I'm not only minorly claustrophobic. Like, it's just to the extent where I just get kind of uncomfortable in lifts.
So
in big crowds.
Have you got the lights on in there?
No, it's complete darkness.
Would that help?
Or
would it be worse? Because then you'd be like, oh, now I am truly aware. Just.
I don't know. I think the darkness kind of adds to it. I don't know. Did everyone else stay in the dark?
See, Nathan stayed in the dark for about half an hour until he told me he hadn't put the lights on. I was like, well, do you want to? And he was like, well, I felt like it was part of the whole thing to be in the dark. But yeah, most people turn it on. So
I think I'll have the lights on simply because
if you feel around, there's 3 LED lights.
Right. I think I saw one.
You click them in.
Oh, okay,
push those
gotcha.
in. And
all right. Yeah.
There you go.
Just so, because then I can see the mic and I'm not going to knock it as much.
That's true.
All right, cool.
So this is the first. We've got someone. I don't want to point out, in case you start having
an attack.
An attack. But our first, I was considering what it'd be like to have someone claustrophobic in there. And here we are.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, like I said, I'm not going to freak out or anything. It's minor claustrophobia.
Might be a better podcast if you do, though.
Basically, my hands are just really sweaty right now. and I'm really warm already. I've listened to the other podcasts and everyone just goes, God damn, it's warm. And I'm like, they're probably just complaining. And no, I took off my jumper and my coat, and I'm just in a t-shirt and I'm roasting already.
See, usually it's actually quite cold in there, but what I do is I get electric heater, stick it in there for a good hour.
You torture us.
I'm coming, and I'm like, better get that heater hidden away, and then it's all ready for people to roast.
This is one of the torture methods that they've outlawed at Guantanamo.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a sick fantasy of mine, really. That's all it's for. But, this is interesting. So
I apologise for my tickly cough as well. I've had it for a bit of
it's really tickly.
Week, and it's very ticklish. It's like there's a little nymph in my throat, just with a tiny feather just going.
So it's just in there. It's just
in there.
Sound a good tickle.
Yeah.
It's like, I wish I had a better throat. But I'll work with what I've got and have a little. It's just there, right. So what? Right, his voice is probably he's probably quite wheezy himself.
I want to hear the character.
Can't do my job.
He's a 60. He's a 60 a day, 3 packs a day kind of guy.
Yeah. I wish I had a better job than this. My mate, fucking Tony, he's got the greatest throat of them all. Who's got a good throat? Who's famous for having a good throat?
Which Tony?
No, Tony's inside someone's throat.
Tony's the name of a nymph in my throat. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So we need a good throat person.
He sounds like a Tony. When you were doing the impression, I was like, yes, this guy sounds like a Tony.
Yeah.
All right.
Woody Harrelson probably has a good throat. So, Frank, he's inside Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson's another person. Sounds like that taxi driver in The League of Gentlemen. Oh. So that's another character. I've been trying to weave in characters into this show.
I love it, man. It's good.
Yeah, last week we had Willie the Wardrobe. Maybe he'll make an appearance. Don't know. You never know.
Well, he better, because I'm inside him right now.
Well, don't prompt him. I'm not going to do it. You think I am? I'm not. I'm not going to bring him out. Right. So, what's going on? Tell us what you do, Sean Beasley. Who is Sean Beasley? The bee's wax. The bee's knees.
Man, don't get so philosophical. I mean, I can tell you a few things that have been going on in my life of late.
Nothing.
Give me more. Mainly nothing.
Okay. I wasn't actually saying.
But if I just said that, this wouldn't be a very interesting podcast. I wouldn't be a very good guest. So I have to kind of make myself sound more interesting than I actually am.
No, it's fine. If things get boring, I'll just tell you that that you're claustrophobic.
We'll just return to claustrophobia.
Yeah, that's our go-to.
We can mine
off that subject.
So much from that.
Tell us.
But yeah, well, last month I did a fire walk.
Of course.
I walked over hot coals to raise money for Mount Vernon Cancer Centre, which is a cancer hospital near London. I did that with my sister and a group of other people as well, some of which were nurses from the cancer centre. And we just it's a walk over hot coals. It's about like 10, 12 feet. And raised a lot of money through it, much more than I was expecting. And it's really kind of good fun to do. It's a very humbling experience. I enjoyed it.
That's far more noble than anyone who ever's been on this show so far.
Well, how
was the coals? Were they hot?
No, Dan, they were freezing cold.
Oh, what's the point then?
It's so of course they were hot. They actually measure it at the end, and in the middle, they place like a thermometer in the middle of it, and not a thermometer, but they have some instrument that they measure.
Yeah, temperature gauge,
and it's like 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
What?
1,000 degrees Fahrenheit in the middle of it. Yeah.
What?
I know. It's crazy.
That's not natural.
I know, it makes no sense, and like we got to give it like there's a little talk about the guy who kind of was the head of who like organized the thing, gave it all kind of mind over matter, like the power of the mind kind of talk, but it all boils down to like the only advice really is just don't think about it.
Yeah.
Don't think about it and just kind of look straight ahead and yeah. So and also because it was like freezing cold and it had been raining that day, so like I was standing on cold wet concrete, so my feet were freezing before stepping foot on it, so I didn't really feel it at all until like the last couple of steps.
Yeah. Did you get any blisters or?
No, none at all.
Wow, you got feet made out of sheet metal.
No one got blisters. It's the strangest thing. I honestly can't explain it. It's one of the weirdest, most bizarre experiences of my life to kind of do that and not suffer any physical ailments from it whatsoever.
It's just mind conquering all pain.
Yeah,
I say at the end of the day, just use your mind and you can get over anything.
Pretty well to an extent.
No. Anything.
Just anything, yeah. Sure, why not?
Mind over matter. You know what I mean? It's my life motto. Wow. So yeah, you stepped over some coals that were kind of hot. 1,000. Not that.
Kind of hot. No, not that hot. I mean, it's not like the temp. I mean, the surface of the sun is hotter. Like that would be more impressive if I walked across the sun.
That would be an achievement. Who cares about the moon, mate? I'm going top of the tree. Sun.
Top of the food chain.
Yeah, it is top of the food chain, I guess. 'Cause without that,
There would be no food without
there you
the sun.
go.
So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nothing is more chained on the food than the sun. So, apart from running on coals, what else have you been doing? Anything more we can dig out?
Just a bit of writing here and there. I don't do it nearly as much as I should or want to. But yeah, here now I've been kind of working on a story idea that kind of first gestated in my mind a couple of years ago, and I haven't started like properly because I'm writing it as like a novel, like a proper, or a novella, like a proper story, which is I'm finding really difficult because I'm not used to writing like that, because I studied film and TV, so I'm used to writing screenplays and writing things in that format.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd stretch myself and try writing prose, and it's much more difficult. I'm having a hard time kind of knowing where to start. So I've got pages and pages and pages of notes that I've written on this and what like I want the story to be. I've got my whole kind of 3-act structure set out, but it's just kind of
3-act structure. That's where you got
Screenwriting 101.
Screenwriting 101 there. You walk in, they go, right, 3-act structure.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Here we go.
Well, you got your Act 1, your Act 2, and your Act 3.
Hey, you got your
your beginning and your middle and your end.
Hey, that's free. It's free.
You get that one for free.
Structure.
Everything else you got to pay for.
But these days, a lot of people, a lot of shows going against that, aren't they? They're like, let's mix it up. You know? Let's not have that.
Start with the end and work backwards.
Seeing as I haven't finished it yet, but I was just watching the Westworld finale.
Yeah,
and
don't you...
No.
I haven't seen it yet. You better not spoil it.
Spoiler alert. There's a plot twist and a character. There's a character reveal, and many people's minds are blown.
It's a fucking great show. I love Westworld. I know. I listened to your podcast with Mark last week.
I don't want to keep bringing it up, to be honest with you, because I've said my piece in that episode. And also, if you're listening right now, why don't you go back and listen to that one, find out my opinion on Westworld, come back, and then you'll be like, oh, I see. So that's what. But yeah, let's leave that. So,
all right,
what's the story about? Is it?
Well, I'm trying to explore like the potentials of VR. I've always been a big fan of I love dystopic sci-fi. It's my kind of go-to literary genre. I love the work of
is what now?
Dystopic is like kind of alternate future which is reflecting usually like the ills of society today.
Right.
Like,
that's a future free.
Novels like 1984 by George Orwell and Brave New World by Aldous Huxley.
Oh, them.
Kind of ruminating.
Not Professor to the Flumps.
Yeah. Yeah, about that masterpiece.
Dystopia, isn't it?
Yeah, you can have dystopia with some fat and fart jokes.
Careful, you might turn into a big hamster. That isn't it, right? That's the second one? I don't know.
I believe that is the moral of Animal Farm.
Bestiality in that film.
Yeah,
like,
there is.
Full on bestiality. Yeah. It's a PG. It might even be a U. It's ridiculous. Like, I know it's all suggestive, but you're not really hiding it, are you? Just a guy gets raped.
It's not suggestive at all.
It's not.
The guy just gets raped by a giant hamster.
But it's because of the facial expressions. It's all right. He just looks, a bit shocked. Doesn't the hamster then wink as well or something?
Yeah. He does a crafty wink.
My God. Those were the days.
And we wonder why Eddie Murphy doesn't work anymore.
Well, that's not his fault. It's the hamster's fault. Why was there not a legal case put up against that hamster?
I think it's pending.
Well, it's too big, isn't it? Big old thing. Oh, well, so what else to that story?
Well, I don't want to say too much about it because it's still
No.
at a stage where I don't know, it might change.
Yeah,
But
no spoilers and all that.
it's just exploring kind of. I find VR and augmented reality super interesting, and that it kind of changes your perception of the everyday world. And it just fit, and I want to kind of relate that to things that I'm noticing in society at the moment, where there's a kind of lot of there's a lot of ignorance and a lot of fake news around, and people kind of choosing what they want to believe, and we're living in a very chaotic and confusing time.
Post-truth world we're in.
Yeah, like I was watching the Adam Curtis documentary, Hypernormalization.
I still haven't got around
night.
to that.
I've only I saw because it's like 3 hours long, so I watched like half of it, and then it's so dense I had to kind of pause it and just go out and drink and reflect on it. But I was watching that, and that's kind of talking about how the crux of the argument is that we got into almost a post-political society where politicians are discouraged from making any real change. What they're trying to do now, the powers that be, are just to manage society. It's just risk management. That's why we've built all these kind of computers to manage risk, whether that be financial or social or anything. And so, so it's a really strange time, and it's going back. It's kind of history of the last 40 years. It starts off like a study of two cities, New York and Damascus in Syria. Mm-hmm. And 1975, New York was heavily in debt to the banks, and there was huge poverty in the city. So it's essentially like the banks kind of almost took the reins of control of New York. And then at the same time in Damascus in Syria, there's kind of a lot of political upheaval, and President Assad, Bashar al-Assad's current president's father, was kind of trying to unite the Arab nations to kind of stand up to the West. And Henry Kissinger, who I believe was he Secretary of State at that time? I can't remember.
Possibly.
Something like that. And he believed that, that would be a threat to the West. And his whole thing was things need to be stable. Things need to be stabilized. And he saw if they increased in power, it would destabilize the whole world. So he actually sought out to kind of break the ties between these countries and to kind of set them against each other. And I mean, that's just how it started. Yeah. I mean, it goes into everything. I don't want to kind of talk about it at length because
it sounds like you've given away the whole.
Oh no, that's just
thing.
Honestly, I haven't at all. That's just kind of how it started. That's like the first 20 minutes. There's there's so much more that it goes into. Like I said, it's really dense. But it's I definitely recommend checking that out. So to relaying that back to VR,
how does that relate?
Somehow.
Tell us.
Well, I think just at the moment, because we're at this point where we're just trying to manage reality and instead of change it, there's a lot of people who have just kind of switched off and
wake up.
I don't want to say that, but there's so much apathy and kind of people just don't want to deal with it. But there's kind of that with the amount of choice we have in the Western world, it's as long as I've got my TV and as long as I've got this and that, then I'm content. So I don't need to deal with all the problems in the world if it doesn't kind of affect me directly. So that's kind of what I want to explore in VR, is this kind of shutting off of reality. Because that's what hypernormalization really, that's how they define it as. Not shutting off of reality, but kind of turning what's fake into something real, creating reality out of something that isn't real.
So that's how it relates to
if you know what I mean. I'm explaining this terribly.
Do you think they're like with VR at the moment? There's a lot of talk about it, and it's mainly the forefront of it at the moment is for video games.
Right. Yeah.
But do you believe that there's potential for it to be far more useful for, say, patients or just helping with anxiety, or just there's far more to it than that? Then it's not just a thing to play with.
Yeah, and I don't also like. I'm talking about it in kind of a dystopic way, but that's not the way I think about it. It's just that's the way I find would be interesting to write about, and like kind of as a piece of kind of hopefully entertaining fiction. But I think there's an awful lot of good that can come from VR. They have shown that like there's this one particular game where it's like, it's not even a game, it's just like an underwater setting, and you're just kind of like in the ocean, you're watching fish swim by, and you're just kind of exploring this space. And they've found that that's actually been really therapeutic for people who suffer from anxiety and from PTSD. And so there's in terms of mental health, I think there's a lot of good that can come of it. That's the thing. I don't believe anything is necessarily good or bad. It's just how it's utilized.
Yeah.
And if VR is utilized in the right way, it can be hugely beneficial, I believe.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Good.
Have you been to Arcado?
Yes, I went for the first time last week, and it is my first time trying the VR. There's the PlayStation version, and as a spectacled man, I was very happy that the headset was comfortable and it didn't, I didn't have to take off my glasses or anything.
This is the arcade bar that's now opened in Lincoln. Lincoln, England, UK. In case you're listening elsewhere. Oh my god, as if. But yeah, it's like a gaming place, and they've got a VR there, haven't they?
They do. It's a lot of fun playing.
I went the other day, but I didn't go on the VR. We just played Cards Against Humanity.
Have you played it yet? Oh,
nope.
Oh,
See, I've never played Cards Against Humanity, so it was like,
that game will make you lose friends.
Well, see, right. I was always dubious with it, because I was like, from what I can tell, it gives people an excuse to just hide behind this game and then just discriminate. And I was proved right, because we were playing it, and this security guard comes up to us and goes,
right.
"Oh, that is the best game ever." And then we're like, "All right, yeah, okay." And he's like, "Yeah, did you know?" I don't want to even say it, but basically, he just used it to be racist. It's just like, he said, "Oh, it's really funny. You can, it's," and then, it just went on one, and then I was like, "Well, he thinks, it's fine. I can say this because that's the whole thing."
Yeah,
but see, that's what worries me about it.
But see, I don't mind that, because at least then, like,
I don't mind it. I quite like racism.
I don't like racism, but I think, like, if you're gonna be racist, that's a good outlet for it. And if you're maybe if, like, it's like,
but it spreads that attitude, does it not? Like, if it's that popular, and it is.
I guess, but not everyone uses it for that reason, I'm
not saying everyone who plays Cards Against Humanity is racist, but every racist plays Cards Against Humanity.
I don't think that's true.
Well,
but
look it up.
Yeah.
Look it up.
I will do. Yeah, like I said, it's anything can be good or bad. It's how you utilize it. It's
Oh, that's a lame excuse. Everything can be good or bad. Really? I didn't know. I see what you mean. Like that's only going to happen.
It's an obvious thing to say, but it's a truism.
That's only going to happen if you're that way inclined anyway.
Yeah.
So you could play a game of Monopoly. And someone,
better they do that and get it out of their system that way than actually, like, be, incite racial hatred towards someone.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I'm not saying that it would necessarily stop that, but, what can you do? Racists will be racists, am I right?
Ain't it true? Bring them down. One card against humanity at a time, I guess. But, I'll probably go back to that place.
Yeah, definitely try the VR.
I'll actually try
a lot
it.
of fun.
See, I've done a bit of VR before. I've played it before. I've played something on Oculus Rift.
Okay.
But I don't know. I
haven't tried the Oculus left. I actually have a friend back home who works in VR, and so he often has it and he brings it around. Another friend of mine's flat, but I've not been there when he's brought it. So
not a good enough friend, I guess.
No.
Yeah, I know.
He won't let me try his Oculus. Apparently, you can use it like you can sync it with Google Maps. So like you could like stand on top of the Empire State Building.
No.
And look. Yeah. It's crazy.
Why bother going all the way there? Just
I know.
Stick your headset on.
Save money on holidays and flights. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah,
you just put on your headset and
a little walk
put
around.
on Google Maps and go to wherever in the world you want to go and have a little wander around.
Whoa, what a world!
What a world indeed.
What a beautiful world. So you done much travelling? Segway.
I've done a reasonable amount of travelling. I've been to a fair few places. I've not done as much as I want. There's huge areas of the world that I still have yet to go to, which I want to visit. I want to go to Southeast Asia. I want to go to South America, Central America, New Zealand. I'd love to go to because there's really beautiful landscapes.
Sure.
Even like some areas of Europe. I still haven't been to like Germany. I've been to like most of like kind of Western Europe now. I've been like to Holland and France and Spain and I don't think I've been to Italy yet. And the Scandinavian countries I'd really like to visit as well. I'd like to go to Norway, Sweden, Finland, Iceland. I'd love to go to Iceland to see the Northern Lights. That's definitely on the old bucket list.
Look at the different colours.
Yep, all them colours.
Yeah. Well, that sounds good. Doing a bit of travelling.
Yeah.
Seeing the world.
I mean, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to do it because I'm just constantly broke.
Yeah, that's the thing, innit?
Graduate life, am I right?
Oh, god damn it all. Hey, kids, don't go to uni. Nah, do if you want. It's up to you. If you want that debt, which is even more now, isn't it?
Yeah, we got lucky. We
did.
We have the last ones in before it went up.
Oh boy, to think we got lucky.
Yeah, I know, right?
That tells you all you need to know about that stuff. But how, like, because they're just going to keep going up, aren't they? It's not going to stop. Like, what is it? $9,000 now.
Yeah, $9,000 a year.
$9,000 a year. $9,000 a year.
Mm.
Some people don't even like. That's ridiculous.
Would you have gone if you were a year younger and you had to pay that?
Probably.
Would you have still gone?
I probably would have still gone. Because I would have just been like, well.
I think I probably would have still gone, but I don't think I would have done the course that I did. I think I would have done something more academic possibly. That I knew I could get a job from.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, I would have actually given it a try. Well, I would have been like, well, I'm paying $9,000 for this, so I better actually do this properly rather than just using it as an excuse to just dick around. Not that I ever.
But I mean, there's not. One. I mean, what can you do that it really will guarantee you like a career or a job? It's like law, medicine. That's about it, really.
And even then, not guaranteed.
And even then, not guaranteed. No.
Nothing's guaranteed in this world. Na. Nothing's guaranteed in this world.
Got such a beautiful voice.
Did you want to join in or okay?
No.
It's fair enough. I didn't know where I was going.
I was enjoying your little solo.
Look here, you've been in the wardrobe. How long do you think you've been in there?
I have absolutely no concept of time. I honestly don't know.
Give me a rough figure.
It could have been anything from like 15 minutes to 15 hours.
Well, you're wrong.
How long have I been in here?
Actually, no, you're right, because it
15
is in
minutes?
between that. So, you've been in, as I've just started talking, half an hour.
Oh, okay. All right. So we're
So-
like 2/3 of the way through. Okay.
So I'm thinking we'll have a break, and then we'll get back to it. But
Awesome.
as is tradition, in a few seconds you'll hear one of the jingles.
Can't wait.
No one can wait. What? All right. Well, whatever it is, here it is. Oh boy. Don't have a wardrobe? Not a problem, because here at Wardrobe VR, the original name of this company, we haven't changed it. Maybe we should do that. Actually, thinking about it. Yo. Yeah, Steve. Steve. Yeah. We should rename it. The name of the company. What to? WVR. It's quicker and snappier. Alright. WVR. Opening your world to the wardrobe. Oosh. How about that jingle? Loving it.
What
What's-
a jingle.
What's your opinions on that?
Well, I don't know, because I won't be able to hear it until I listen to this podcast.
pretend
back.
you know.
Oh no, I've ruined the magic.
Yeah, well, it's all about ruining the magic at the end of the day. I've had enough of it. Just coming around being like,
It's just too much magic in the world, you know.
It-
Sometimes you gotta
Yeah.
get rid of some.
so eat all of the magic.
I actually, I came prepared with a little anecdote because, well, it's not an anecdote. It's just
Oh.
a story of a dream I had, which I thought that you would really appreciate because you're a big Alien fan, and I've been having a lot of really weird dreams lately. I don't know why, but I had I had this terrifying alien dream where I was like, for some reason I was in like a cheap motel room.
Yeah.
And like in the there's like a cupboard in it, and I open a cupboard and it just leads to this like kind of dark like cave, like grimy, wet, dark, dank cave.
Don't want to go in there though.
And, like I go in there
Oh.
like an idiot. I walk through like I don't know for how long I'm walking, and then like I just feel this presence around me, and I see this tail, and like just and it's like, oh shit, it's the alien, and like it's like I peg it out and like shut the door and hold it like shut with a chair, and and so I'm just terrified in this room, just going, oh, it's gonna get me, and I'm freaking out, and I'm looking at like the door outside, and like I keep seeing shadows of like the tail like swishing, and I'm just losing my mind in this hotel room for like, I don't know, it feels like a day, and so like I start feeling really hungry.
Of
So I
course.
call Mark, our mutual friend Mark Smith.
Mark Smith,
Um,
previous guest.
Yeah, and I'm on the phone to him, and I'm like, Mark, I'm freaking out. Maybe for some reason the alien is in my motel room, and I'm just really hungry. Can you bring me something to eat? And he's just like, yeah, all right, fine. And so like some amount of time passes, I don't know how much, and then there's just this knock on the door. I go to like open the door, expecting him to like come in, and he just like his hand just shoves like like throws like a packet of hula hoops, like the smallest packet of crisps you could possibly think of,
Yeah.
and just like throws it at me, and then I just hear him fucking pegging it pegging it down the road, and I'm like, don't you want to stay for a while? And he's just, no fucking way, man. Like,
You deal with that alien yourself.
yeah, I mean, I don't remember how the dream ended, but I was just like sitting in that hotel room eating hula hoops, like just freaking out, crazed out of my mind, being scared that the alien was gonna come and get me. So yeah, that was my weird alien dream.
That is great.
I thought you'd appreciate
That is
it.
brilliant. What do you think that? Because they say dreams, every dream means something. So I don't know who
I'm
says
terrified
that.
of the alien. I
Apparently.
guess.
But is it
And
more
that Mark is a really shitty friend.
Well, clearly. Well, he could just give you the hula hoops at least.
Yeah, he turned up, I guess, as something.
So do you think maybe the alien is a metaphor for something else? Maybe the room is your inner mind, and you're trapped in your own thoughts.
Well, if we're able,
I'm just trying to read into it.
Well,
or maybe
if
it's
we're
just
to
what
believe
it
the
is.
theorists on Geiger's design, it's I guess I'm really afraid of penises.
Yeah, you're afraid of the male penetration, being impregnated.
Yeah.
Interestingly,
I'm afraid of being a woman.
When I was writing my dissertation on Alien, and I was having discussion with my tutor, she was like, "Oh yeah, I think Alien's a bit sexist. It's like it's not got a great representation of female, like the female struggle and all that." And I'm like, just hold on a second. What do you think Alien is about?
Yeah, what's she talking
I'm
about?
like, I'm just like, it's about the male, like, fear of being impregnated, but like, I didn't understand what she was saying.
Not only that, but Alien it gave us the first female action hero.
Yeah,
Ripley,
you're
man.
damn right.
I mean, you talk a bit. I don't want to go into this because you
keep
mentioned
talking
this last week, and
every
that
week.
gave us Sarah Connor and all that. Yeah.
Talking about films, then.
Talking about films.
It's nearly the end of the year.
It is.
And as it's
thank Christ
nearly the end of this podcast as well, let's think about. Oh, you said about that.
I am. I feel like I've conquered my fear of. I've conquered my claustrophobia in here as well.
Excellent.
Progress has been made.
I'm using that as a soundbite.
Use it as a quote.
So not only is this a entertaining, hilarious, political show, it will cure people of their fears.
It's therapy.
Specifically, sitting in a wardrobe. But if that's what you want, come in. Because it's near the end of this episode and near the end of the year. What's your favourite films of the year?
My favourite films of the year are one of them I actually saw very recently. I didn't catch it in the cinema. I don't even think the Odeon was playing it. It's a New Zealand film called Hunt for the Wilder People.
Ah, right. Yeah, I'm about to get onto that at some point.
You'd love it. It's right up your street. You'd love it. The sense of humour in it. It's very funny. It's very well written. And kind of like a coming of age tale. It's about like Sam Neill plays this kind of wild like bushman who he's married to this woman who adopts this kind of troubled kid who's like who's been in foster care, and then it's about those two slowly kind of forming a bond when they get kind of stuck out in the bush together and have to rely on their wits to survive, and it's got kind of like dramatic, kind of poignant moments, but it's not sentimentalized at all, which I really appreciate in films. It's often very funny.
From what I sense is that it's like it's one of those films that doesn't kind of like force the narrative, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Like it's kind of like it just lets the characters do their thing.
Yeah.
And it's quite schmaltzy.
No, it's not schmaltzy. No. It's not actually. I wouldn't. At least I didn't think it was schmaltzy at all. I think.
But there's an endearing nature.
It's very endearing. Yeah, that's a good word to describe it. It's very endearing. It's just, hey, come spend some time with these characters. This kind of father-son relationship that's kind of, well, more like kind of grandfather-grandson relationship that they have, I guess.
Yeah.
And they kind of like, and they just bicker a lot, and it's just the narrative. Like there is a story, there's a narrative, but it's very loose. It's very much like, just come, here are these characters, come, watch them kind of try and survive in the wilderness and bicker and fight on the way and kind of make some realizations about themselves and the world.
Okay, well, I'll be sure to get on that. I mean,
it's great.
So, any others?
Arrival, I loved.
I saw that together.
Yeah, we did. I thought as one of the most kind of intelligent sci-fi films I've recently seen. I love that it's kind of about like it's almost like a study on language, and really kind of grown up, very real. I feel realistic way to treat an alien visitation film.
Yeah.
Reminded me a lot of films like Contact and Close Encounters, which I really liked. I loved the design of the aliens in the film. I pretty much loved everything about it. It gets a bit like you mentioned, schmaltz. It gets a bit schmaltzy at the end.
It does a little bit.
A little bit, but I think it kind of works. It works for the film.
Not to put any spoilers in there, but the moment, the major moment in the film,
twist.
The twist did lose me a little bit, but I think I need to rewatch to just appreciate it a bit better.
Yeah.
Because everything before that I was really on board. So I think I just need that again just to see how good it was, because it was definitely really good. We're nearing the end. Have you got a few more to?
We've got a few more. Green Room, I really liked.
Yes.
Starring the late Anton Yelchin.
Yeah.
What else? Room was great.
Room, loved it.
I forgot that because that was way back. It came out in January.
Yeah, it was January. It was the early one. UK releases we're going for, I guess, because that's what I
recently watched. I don't know if I'd say this is a favourite, but it's just one I watched recently, which I quite liked. Was Don't Breathe.
See, I was the opposite.
Do you not like it?
No, I really didn't like it. I was on board for like half an hour, and then it went the wrong way for me, and I ended up coming out really not liking it. It's one of my worst films of the year, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
I just really liked how fucked up it gets. It takes such a nasty turn, like about 2/3 of the way through the movie, and I really wasn't expecting it.
I was just really enjoying like the intense nature of it, and then it just kind of went the wrong way for me. And but then again, with my top like worst films of the year, I've got Neon Demon in there.
See, that's another one of my favorites. I loved the Neon Demon, and I understand people's issue with it. Like the like some of the dialogue is just like, huh? It's just really. But I'm a big fan of Nick Winding Refn because I think he just makes he's such a unique filmmaker, and he has he's got such a unique style, and all his films look gorgeous. His cinematography is always like these like perfectly framed kind of Kubrickian shots. A lot of people don't like Only God Forgives, and it's another film I love. Drive, Bronson. The only one of his I've seen which I didn't really reckon to was Valhalla Rising.
Yeah,
I found that a bit dull.
Yeah, well, that is a little. Yeah.
What about your films, man? What are your favourite films of this year?
High Rise is right up there.
I haven't caught that yet. I still haven't seen it.
Yeah, no, that is really good. Notes on Blindness.
Haven't seen that either.
It's kind of like a documentary reconstruction featuring Dan Skinner of Angelos Epithemiou fame,
that guy.
which is really weird because he's playing a really serious role
really
here.
Strange.
Where it's documentary on this Australian guy who slowly goes blind and then starts to record his voice on his like experiences of going through this. And it's really well done because they use the original voice recordings from this guy and then lip sync it with the characters.
Oh, no way.
And it's really well done. I really recommend that.
Yeah. Sorry, I just remembered another one of my favourites.
Yeah, go ahead.
I, Daniel Blake.
See, still need to get around to it because it had a limited release and I just missed it. So I desperately need to see that. I was very
lucky to catch it in the cinema because it wasn't showing for very long.
Yeah.
But that's a hugely important movie, I think, for our time and the current kind of political climate in this country. I think I'd highly recommend that everyone watch that.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very moving film. Very moving.
I look forward to getting
fantastic. To that. Really well written, really well acted.
I hope I get to that before the year's out, but who knows? I just don't know where to get to see it. But you got any? Right, we're almost at the end. So you got any plugs or something you want to say?
No, not.
You have no opinion.
I think I've spent enough time.
You've used it all up, haven't you?
Shouting my opinions from my pulpit. Yeah, I've used up all my opinions.
So you now we've now cured you of claustrophobia. That's now confirmed as being a thing that we've done.
Hallelujah, Lordy! I'm cured through the power of the wardrobe.
See, don't get me wrong. I don't want people thinking that they can just come to me now and be like, "Oh,
lay hands on me, Dan.
I'm scared of spiders." I'm like, "Well, can't really help you. Well, can't you just stick me in the wardrobe and I'll be all right?" No, it's not how it works.
Fill the wardrobe with spiders.
Yeah, well, I guess, but that's one way around it. Well, I'm a celebrity. I'm like, take that, ITV, and you're cool.
Can't believe that show is still going. All these
It's
reality shows.
And on decking it, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're very cheeky chappies.
See, here's the thing. I don't mind them.
Oh, mine. I got nothing against them. I'm just
them.
kind of bored of their shtick, you know.
Well, it's their thing, innit?
It's
and
their thing.
They do a
fine.
good job at what they do.
Yeah, sure. It's just not really, you know.
But I don't really want to end on this.
End on and and deck.
Not really. So you're not doing anything else with your life that you want to tell us? Just look out for your eventual story that you're writing.
Yeah. I mean, one thing. I guess, like, I don't want to plug it because we haven't started working on it yet, but me, Andrew, and Mark, we've talked about starting a podcast next year because I'm actually moving in with them next year. And I think Mark first had the idea for it, and Mark is a big horror buff, so he wants to do a podcast on kind of cult horror movies.
Okay.
And just like kind of showing him to like me and Andrew, who we've seen, we're big movie buffs, but we're not so kind of specified on horror. Like, I've seen a lot of kind of mainstream horror films, but there's a lot of kind of niche stuff that Mark's into that is kind of unfamiliar to us. Like, he showed us a film called Society recently, which is great.
Okay.
So yeah, we're planning on starting a podcast around that.
That's good.
We'll hopefully start recording in January and get like a website and all that set up for it. So watch this space.
Watch that space.
Yeah.
That is excellent. Always like to know about more podcasts and stuff.
You got some competition, bitch.
Oh shit! You're not even gonna stand a chance on this. You know what I mean? Mine's too niche. You won't have to worry. Nah, that sounds really good.
Aimed at all the wardrobe enthusiasts.
Exactly. They're all here. Well, they will be at some point, I'm sure. All that's left to say is thanks for being in the wardrobe.
Thank you for having me.
To the listeners, thank you for listening, I guess. You didn't do much else. And share
Poor effort on your part.
Yeah, come on.
Anyone can listen.
Speak up. Get involved with sharing it. Get out there. Say, hey mate, look, I've been listening to the podcast. It's really funny. Is it? Oh, it's pretty funny.
Just not this episode.
Maybe not this one. Keep up with it, and then if you like it, follow on Twitter, HGWPod, hashtag it, HGWPod, no less, and get it out there. And until next time, keep on wardrobing. Done.
Great.